Welcome to the Cloud Accounting Podcast. I'm Blake Ollum.
I'm David Leary.
I'm Clint Bowers.
Thanks for joining us, Clint. It's great to see you here.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
We are in New Orleans at the Accounting Salon 2019.
That's right.
It's the second time I get to meet Clint face to face.
Yes.
It's exciting.
Likewise for me, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
So, Clint, where'd you come in from?
Dallas. Yes.
What do you do in Dallas?
So in Dallas, I own my own firm, Smart Business Concepts, as well as a CPA firm where we work with small business clients and try to help them get profitable or stay profitable or
Stay in business?
stay in business.
Yeah.
Yes. More profitable. Make money. Yeah.
What sort of businesses?
So I would say I could probably give you a list of clients or types of businesses that we don't serve rather than what we do. But I would say anywhere, under 50 million bucks. But yeah, professional services, actually manufacturing. We love doing manufacturing.
That must be, manufacturing must be challenging from a technology standpoint.
It is. So actually, manufacturing companies are probably some of the slowest to adopt to any type of cloud technology. They really use their legacy systems and getting them over to a cloud platform is actually challenging because there's a lot more inputs that go into just flipping a switch versus, now I'm going to move my invoicing over in my payables. There's actually a lot of stuff underlying that takes a lot more effort. So that's usually the biggest barrier.
So are you moving those companies that sign up with you to cloud platforms, or are you keeping them on their ERP or their manufacturing systems?
Yeah, so we will definitely move them over. That's not really a scalable solution to have a bunch of on-premise, solutions that each client is using something a little bit different. So yeah, we'll move them over.
Can I ask about your tech stack? What are you using for manufacturing?
So that is going to kind of depend a little bit on the industry. So there's some that, we can look at a Deere or something like that.
Deere inventory?
Yeah, Deere inventory. So for some of our clients, they actually have more specific that you probably wouldn't have heard of, but I'm not saying you wouldn't, but so maybe it's a particular like bread, or that particular software that's geared around how you make bread and the process around that. So we would help identify what are some of the solutions out there for that.
Help me understand, because I've never worked with manufacturing clients, not large scale, right? I had a guy who was making honey in a loft in Brooklyn, but we weren't using a manufacturing system for that.
Right.
Why would somebody have a specialized system for making bread?
Okay, good question. So it's because of a lot of when you're talking about food, so there's maybe certain requirements of tracking certain things, or there's special processes around bread. And so a software company will go, after a particular industry and specialize their software for that particular vertical.
So I got to track all the batches or whatever.
Batching is pretty common, but with how the dough is maybe takes time to rise or things like that. I'm not a bread maker, so somebody could probably call me out on that. But just some of the nuances around the industry. That's really it.
You're a dough maker.
I'm a very good. Yeah, I like how you did that. That's right. May have to add that.
We'll help rebrand you.
Yeah.
So
the dough maker.
So I remember, I don't know, this was maybe half a dozen years ago or so. I remember getting a discussion with some on-prem manufacturing software apps, right? That are just, we can never go cloud because the latency and just that little bit of lag that cloud has that you don't have on-prem for some manufacturers, because maybe they're producing in a assembly line that's just going so fast, you just can't have that extra little bit of lag every time that browser refresh happens. It just is that true? Is that still true today? Is that something, or was I just getting blown smoke?
Yeah, I think that, if you say that was 10 years ago, that probably was, that really probably was the case. I would say now, typically you probably have less downtime if you're in cloud-based rather than having to rely on actual maybe on-premise servers and dealing with all of that. So I don't think that's really as much of an issue, especially on companies that are less than 100 million in sales, and to where they're not pumping out a crazy amount of product per second. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I don't think that's such an issue anymore. So
how big is your firm?
Yeah. So we have, there's 7 of us in Dallas. And yeah, we've been around for almost 5 years. Yeah.
What were you doing before that?
So my background is in manufacturing. Go figure, huh? So I worked at about a $2 billion company in Dallas. It was national. It's a dairy. It is a dairy company, Borden actually. And so very large manufacturing and distribution network. And I was the vice president corporate controller there when I left. Yeah. So I spent my entire career there. So that's hence the manufacturing. Yeah. Kind of close the loop on that.
And you say, so all your 700 employees are all in the same office? Do you allow people to work remotely?
Actually, yes. So we are all in the same office. However, yeah, we do have a couple that work from home a couple of days a week. And we're actually, to get into all this, we're actually rolling out a work from home policy in order to try to stagger folks in and out of the office. We're finding that just pretty much like everyone else, you really can't get some really good, just nice, quiet work done outside of the office. And it's helping with productivity and not fighting the Dallas traffic, because we are down, not in downtown, but right near downtown. So instead of spending an hour both ways commuting, then
you have an office.
Yes.
People come to work there, but they can come to work. They can't work from home.
Yep. So they can work from home 2 days a week as of right now.
And do you recruit? If you need to hire, would you recruit from the Dallas area, or do you go from anywhere?
Well, we're actually recruiting right now. We started in the Dallas market, but we're expanding to all of Texas right now in our search. Yeah. So
you started with Dallas, you expanded. Was that because you were having trouble?
Yes. Yeah. So we're looking for particular tax expertise to really manage the entire tax department. And
so you hear that, listeners?
Yeah. It's a really cool place to work.
Yeah. Well, why not? Yeah. So if somebody happens to be listening and is in tax,
that's right.
Where should they go to learn more about your firm?
Go to the website. So smartconcepts.co. That tells all about our firm, and just email me your resume. I'd love to. Yeah. So it's quite a unique opportunity that we're looking for. So
work from home.
Yeah. In fact, the person who is leaving, husband's getting relocated to Germany, works from home 2 days a week. Yeah. So
I think because a lot of, like, Blake and I met you for the first time last year at the accounting salon. Right. I didn't know much about you from there, but I feel like we've kind of stayed in touch since. Mm-hmm. What was your big takeaway? Or like, what was the thing you gained from either the last accounning salon or knowing the accounting saloners over the last year?
Yeah, actually, that's a really great question. And I took a lot away, which was learning to really get out a good and solid core message about your business, about what it does and what it does differently and what it does not do. We chose not to do a vertical and have a niche, but what we did realize kind of coming away from here, and I just started learning this, and I think I talked about it the last slide, is we do want to, and we are focusing on how we can make our clients more profitable. So really digging in operationally. And that doesn't necessarily mean a bunch of fancy dashboards or things like that, but really understanding their business and working with them really on a pretty detailed level to understand profitability and where they are and or are not making money, and where they're spending money, where they should be spending money, things like that. So so we're working on really branding that right now, which we hope to launch in the next couple of months.
I imagine that when you do deliver an insight that gives them 1% or 2% back to their bottom line, you don't have a problem selling anything else after that.
That's an excellent point. Yeah. So getting that first big win is really good. And it really sets up a really nice trust between you and the client.
And I imagine there's more opportunities for wins if your clients are in the manufacturing business, because there's lots of different variables and levers for you to pull.
That's right.
So you can find one, then a couple months later find another lever, and pull another lever.
Yeah. So that's what we're building out our process around that. So right now it's been very tailored to what's going on in the business, but that's exactly what we're doing. We're trying to put together a process map of how we could look at. Doesn't really matter what type of business, but we go through the same process to discover those things. But that's exactly right. So we typically don't go in and are able to deliver 10 great things and then we don't do anything for a year. It doesn't really work like that. Yeah, that's exactly right.
So what if, so our listeners obviously learn something from Blake and myself, hopefully every week, but what's something they can only learn from you, Clint? They only can learn from you.
They can only learn, what did you call me earlier?
A dough maker?
Yeah, a dough maker. How to make dough. No, that's not right.
So you were talking about it already, like helping clients find profitability or find ways. I feel like not enough. Everyone talks about advisory services.
Yep.
You got to get into advisory services. What does that mean?
So actually we were popping that question over within Salon. It's like,
it's going to be a topic.
What exactly does advisory mean? And so advisory to me, I think it's a term that's thrown around a lot, and folks can maybe say they're in advisory. But the way we're defining advisory just within our firm is identifying ways to help businesses become more profitable. So even if it doesn't mean they're moving to the cloud, it can literally be an engagement of we're going to dig deep into the numbers. And the biggest takeaway is follow the data. So don't go upon emotion or the way that it's always been, or we just know that. Always challenge the business owners and make sure that you follow the data. Otherwise, you can end up making the wrong advice or recommendation. And then helping them, if the data is not clean, obviously you've got to get clean data, but really following the data instead of emotional type decision making.
And on this topic, you said something earlier about how, was it like a dashboard is not enough, or you don't rely on dashboards to do that? Why?
So yeah, you asked me something, maybe what stack do you use and things like that. We use really that kind of stuff internally. We don't do we won't do a lot of dashboards that we produce external to our clients. And there's maybe, a lot of folks may not like to hear this, but we just don't find it useful. It's either slow, it's either, comes up once a month, but we don't use a lot of dashboards. And another reason is the business owner is not typically going to sit around and look at a dashboard all day. And that doesn't happen. They're running a business. So we use it internally to then go have a discussion and talk to them about the data, and use it that way. Yeah.
So what if somebody wanted to talk to you about their dashboard? How would they contact you?
We don't.
Must be hypothetical.
Yeah.
But for the listener, I'll let Blake handle this question. Maybe you'll get a different answer.
Well, so if one of our listeners wanted to follow you online, get in touch with you, send you a message, where's the best place for them to do that? Yeah,
probably on Twitter, actually, at ClintBowers25. Yep. So absolutely.
And what was your website again?
smartconcepts.co.
Well, Clint, thanks so much for your time. It was great talking to you.
Absolutely. Likewise.
Looking forward to sharing more insights.
Yep. Perfect.
Salon.
Cheers.
Cheers.